Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have this 2019 Volkswagen Jetta. We're going to do the side chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before the installation. It's just your regular chrome side panels, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material, that way it gives it a different look to the vehicle. If you like the product, link for the product will be down in the description below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. Okay, so before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the panel. So what you could do is you could wash the vehicle before doing the installation. That way you remove all the contaminants that the panel might have, and the vehicle is just ready for installation. Or you could use any type of chemical that's safe to use for your vehicle. So it doesn't matter what you do, just as long as you clean the surface, and after you're done cleaning, you have to make sure that the whole area is dry. So once you're done prepping the panel, now we can start with the installation. So with this one, you want to start from one end. This one is going to be a little tricky to go inside. So we tried to do the design to cover as much of the chrome as possible. So with this one, try to tuck in on the inside as much as you can. It's only so much you could cover here because of how small the area is to work with. But once you have enough material at least to cover what you can see here, you could continue with the installation. And all I'm doing is using the bottom half of the trim as a guide to align the film. Once you place the film, grab your squeegee and start tacking it down. And make sure you remove any air bubbles behind the film. Once the film has been tacked down, we could trim off the excess material that we have on the edge here and on the top surface here. So just be careful in your trimming. Find the area where you need to trim, and then use your blade and trim off carefully the excess material. And then for the top piece here, try to see where the chrome is at. That way you don't cut off too much and you expose the chrome. So lift the film carefully, see how much chrome you need to cover. Grab your squeegee, tuck in as much as you need, and now we could trim off the excess material. So just be careful, take your time when trimming it off. And once you're done trimming, tuck in the film inside and then apply heat to help the film tack down on the edges where we trimmed. Apply heat now. Okay, now we can move on with the other install. Okay, so now we're moving on to this piece. So with this one, align it right on the edge over there. So place the film here and align it right on the edge. It's going to be a little hard to get inside here, but just as long as you give yourself enough material to cover the chrome, you should be good. Unfortunately, we can't move this mirror, it doesn't move. So you just tack down as much as you can. Place it down and tack it down. And we're covering as much as we can. So now that we have the film tacked down, for this one I'm using the top half as the guide in order to align the film. So just cover all of it, make sure you're aligned. So once we finish aligning, grab your squeegee and start tacking down the film. Make sure you remove any air bubbles behind the film. So lift it carefully if you do have air bubbles and tack it down. Okay, once we tack down the whole film, now we could trim off the excess material. So just find that small gap between the chrome and the door. Just be careful not to scratch the paint on the door. Take your time, make sure you're cutting at a straight line, and then trim off excess here. And then just trim off the other side too. Like I said, be careful. There's only a little bit of room to work with here. So just take your time trimming off the excess material. Okay, and now all we're doing now is applying heat. And then once we're done applying heat, we just move on to the next install. And it's just rinse and repeat the same steps that we did for this one. You rinse and repeat for this one. And now we move on, rinse and repeat with this install. So now we're moving on to the last piece. This one, start off by aligning it on this edge. Make sure when you align it, double check and see if you're covering the chrome. So with this one, it's good to go. And just align it towards the bottom. The bottom does have a gasket, a rubber gasket, so that's perfectly fine. You just align it in between the chrome and the gasket. And then just align it, tack it down. Should look like that. Grab your squeegee and start tacking down the whole film. And make sure you remove any air bubbles that are behind the film. And once you're done tacking down the whole film, we will trim off the excess material. Just make sure to double check where the chrome ends and where the rubber starts. And that's where you trim off the excess material. You can make a little outline to see where you're going to trim. And then just once you're done, trim it off, trim this side. And once we're done trimming, add heat and we're done. So once you're done installing the whole kit on the side door trim, the last thing to do would be to post heat all around. To post heat, apply heat all around the film and make sure you apply heat on the edges. That way the film doesn't lift over time, and we're just helping the adhesive on the film activate more faster by applying heat. So grab your heat gun and start post heating. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete installation for the 2019 Volkswagen Jetta. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one.